A question I had recently was from a first-time home buyer, and they were super disappointed to learn that they did not qualify for a first-time home buyers program. But what I want you to know is that is not necessarily a bad thing. There are trade-offs to first-time home buying programs. And actually, first-time home buying programs, you actually may be still eligible for them if you are a repeat buyer. So today we are going over the pros and cons of first-time home buyer programs so you can learn the pros, cons, trade-offs, and if it's really actually the right thing for you. With over 2 decades of navigating and helping buyers through the home buying process, it's important that you really do understand the trade-offs for each loan program that you are pursuing. For example, first-time home buyers don't necessarily mean that you have never owned a home before. A lot of the times in cases, the case is that if you haven't owned a home within 3 years, that you still may qualify for the program. And for some of these programs, you have to attend a first-time home buying class. Now, these are usually offered free. They can be an hour, they can be longer, but they're going through the nuts and bolts of home ownership and fiscal responsibility. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. There are FHA loans typically known about where there's a 3.5% down payment. And usually you have more flexibility in credit guidelines on debt to income ratios. With conventional loans, you can have as low as 3% down payment. And a lot of the time, if you put enough money down, you will either have lower mortgage insurance rates or no mortgage insurance if you reach that 20% cap. There's VA loans where if you're an active military person or veteran, then you have access to the VA loan that allows for 100% financing with absolutely no PMI. And there's also other savings there for you that you are not actually allowed to pay. There are USDA loans which also allow 100% financing. However, there are income restrictions, and these are usually subject to more rural areas. So you need to fall within a geographic region for these loans to apply for you. There are down payment assistance programs also available, and this is where we start to get a little bit deeper. They can be in the forms of grants and deferred loans and forgivable loans. Grant programs are actually offered by different geographical like cities, counties, or housing agencies. And sometimes they provide funds that actually do not have to be repaid. For those investors out there or looking to branch into the investment world, and what I'm seeing more lately is the utilization of the investment portfolio loans, which are the DSCR loans, where the banks do not look at your income, they look at the performance of the rental property income only. There are some caveats to that. They'll look at bank statements and different things, but it's not your standard paperwork that they're looking for, like, FHA or conventional loans. So this might be a good option for you if you are looking to maybe pull some equity out of your home where you're sitting pretty great and you want to utilize that equity and get it working for you to pull it out and put it into an investment property. Another thing that we're commonly seeing is grandparents or parents helping their kids get into a home. And there's numerous ways that you can actually do this. You can gift funds to your kids or grandkids, or you can be co-borrowers but not occupy the home. Let's talk about the pros of first-time homebuyer programs. It actually allows you to enter the market where you would have been stuck in an equity saving position of saving for a down payment while appreciation is building while you're paying your own mortgage. It also allows you to build long-term wealth. That of a homeowner versus a renter is 44% more. So it's quite significant. And then it reduces the upfront cash load that you have to have. So it actually allows you to enter the market when you otherwise wouldn't have been able to. Some things that you need to be aware of as cons for first home buyer programs is that, some of these grants that you get, there may be some recapture rates where you actually have to pay them back. So you really need to look at the fine print regarding that, especially if you're planning to sell or refinance. Really ask the lender about the terms and fine print on that. Grants can be difficult to qualify for because there are income restrictions and sometimes geographical restrictions as well, to where you have to fit between certain parameters. And even if buyers qualify for these grants, the grants actually could be pulled back and no longer available during the process. When you're really evaluating the best type of loan for you and the best way for you to enter into the market, it's really best to have a lender that's going to evaluate the best case scenario for you, not just for right now, but for the long term. So looking at your credit, all the loan options, looking at all the pros and cons of each and every loan, and giving you that information so you can make an informed decision is really what's important. It's not the fear of missing out, because the fear of missing out on a first-time homebuyer program with a grant may have actually not been the best scenario for you. So if you're thinking about buying, or you just want to explore options about what the next steps are for you in your specific situation, just simply click the link below. Let's get in contact and have a conversation.